Hi everyone, it's Michele Theberge, and thanks for your patience. I've been wanting to make more videos for you guys for a really long time. There's just been a lot going on art-wise for me this year, and I had 3 shows happening simultaneously, but I'm hoping I'm going to have a little bit more time coming up, so if you want to know when my next video comes out, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I've got a bunch of ideas up my sleeve, and I'm really hoping I can get those out for you in the next weeks or months coming up. So anyway, I wanted to just quickly make a video for you today because I had a studio visit 6 days ago, and so I cleaned up the studio and set everything up, and I thought it'd be a fun day to give you a studio tour because I haven't done that in a very long time. So let's check out what's up. So over here we have some of the pieces that were in my solo show that just ended a couple weeks ago at the Fourth Wall Gallery in Oakland, California. And it was really fun to show these works on paper, most of which were completed this year. Some in New York when I was there in February, because when I travel, especially to New York, I get so inspired and I bring my watercolors, and in the small format I can carry it with me in my suitcase and work wherever I'm staying. So these are part of a series that I'm working on. I'll show you some of the works in progress later. And then this one you may have seen before. This one is called You Are My Heaven, and that was actually the title of the show. And I'll give you a little close-up detail on this guy. And you can see some photos on my website too, but you can see the arcs and how there's a glossy surface and the arcs are floating off of the top of that surface and casting shadows below. Let's see, we'll go back here, and I think the color, the iPhone keeps compensating for the color. It's a little dark. This is actually brighter than we're seeing here. And then I have a couple of other small works. Here, these are 8 by 8 inch paintings. And similar thing where I do the pouring medium. I start with maybe 50 or so layers underneath. This one is not as obvious, but I sanded and layered a lot. This one, you might see a little bit more going on there. This one had actually some metal leaf on it. And I paint over it in many layers of glazing and wiping and layering in different colors to achieve this depth. And then I work, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 layers of pouring medium on top. And then in this, some of these painted areas are in between the layers of pouring medium, so there's these clear layers that get built up. I paint some more, and then the little arcs are just right on top of that. Now this, you might have seen this in the thumbnail for my last video. Let's see if I can get far enough back so you can see them, the whole piece. No, you have to go further back. There it is. Okay. So the one on the left is incomplete. I was sort of figuring out which were my favorites. The one on the right is the complete piece. I'm still thinking about it. It's a new thing for me, this putting them together in this column fashion, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm not sure if it's complete or not, which is why when I had to exhibit it, when I wasn't sure about it, it brought up those feelings of insecurity that I related in the video. But anyway, these are watercolor with letterpress on top, and then interference powders were sprinkled onto the wet letterpress ink, which gives it that sheen that you see there. over here on this wall, I had my studio assistant help hang those up there because I'm running out of wall space and I wanted to put those paintings up where I could see them and they would be safely stored. And then you may have seen this piece before. This is called All Together Now. And over here you can see some pieces I'm working on, works in progress. So they just had a poured coat, so you can see that cloudiness is the pouring medium hasn't clarified yet, and I talk a lot about that in my unfolding of a painting series and probably in my pouring medium series too. I'll try and link those so you can check those out if you're interested in the materials themselves. So these are just in those early stages, not sure where they're going to end up. And then here's some watercolors I'm working on. This is one that I had finished and then I didn't feel it was done, and then I painted some more and then it smeared. It's on my website as A New Rose after the song by the Damned. But this is something called the Degas Syndrome, where you finish something and then you think it's not good enough and then you rework it. I have an article about that on my Mindful Artist blog. Just go to themindfulartist.com and under articles look for the Degas Syndrome. You can use the search tool. Maybe I'll try and link that in the description box. Anyway, it's all fine. And anyway, I'm not sure I'll salvage it or not, or doesn't even matter. Who cares? So I just about having fun, trying things out. There's always more works to be made. Try not to be too precious with any one of them. These were a series that I'm actually sort of obliterating. When I was in New York last year, not this year, I was staying with a friend in Brooklyn, and I was born in Brooklyn, and I got this inspiration to do a series based on the parks of Brooklyn, because when I looked at the map, it was really cool. And so this was actually the form of one of the parks, and I just wiped it out because I didn't like the form itself. I wonder if I wrote the name of the park. No, I did not. This one was Warren St. Mark's Community Garden. Anyway, I'm still working on these. These just have layers of color, as do these. And if you've known me for a while, you know I am completely obsessed with blue. So I'm just having so much fun. These probably have maybe 8 layers of color on them, and I'm just kind of adding and trying to give them more nuance, texture, mystery. There are some forms on this one that I started to paint, those oval forms. So I'm just having fun getting back into the painting after doing that residency where I was doing printmaking for a while. And that's about it. That's what's going on in the studio. So I hope you found that interesting, hopefully inspirational. I'd love to know what you've got going on, and if you have any comments or anything, questions, please share them below. I always love hearing from you. Until next time, take good care.